on our day 7 of Walk the Yorke. We are just about a little over 1.5 kilometres from our destination tonight, which is Wattle Point Shelter, and we've had the most fantastic walk today. Pretty short walk. It's going to end up being about 19.5 kilometres, including off-trail kilometres. We've just come through an amazing sort of section of bush trail adjacent to the coast with the most amazing wind turbines. I'm going to pan around to the ocean and the turbines so you can see the amazing place that we are walking this afternoon. Hey honey, how are you?
Good.
I would like to know, firstly, what made you start really thinking about hiking, about taking up hiking?
I don't know, probably Boy Scout days and school camps and just a love of all of the natty equipment. And
Okay.
I've always loved walking, and I had no idea how hurt my feet were going to be at the end of every single day.
Yeah. So, for this experience of Walk the Yorke so far at the end of day 7, what has been your favourite moment, or what's your favourite thing about being out on the trail? Or both?
Well, I don't know, I thought we had a very good day today because nearly all of it was near or at the ocean, and there was lots of good scenery, lots of points of interest. I found it, bit exciting and interesting that we saw all of the wind turbines, which I'm looking at behind you right now.
Yeah.
And this seems to be one of the windiest places on the planet, so it kind of makes sense. And I was kind of hopeful that we would see some, and that we did yesterday, and now we're up close to them. Pretty impressive.
And what's been your least favourite moment and or your least favourite thing about being out on the trail or on this trail in particular?
Well, I think probably yesterday's hike was pretty bad because there was so much road walking or near road walking, and it was just straight for mile after mile after mile with nothing but the road and wheat or canola fields, to look at. But I mean, yesterday was probably a bad day because of the long day we had the day before that, I think. So, I mean, we did about 36 kilometres, 37 kilometres?
A little over 37.
37 kilometres the day before, and I was pretty footsore from the outset, so that doesn't make for a good feeling day because every footfall is pain, really. So, anyway, today was a very good day and very much enjoying it again.
Awesome. And what are you looking forward to and hoping for the rest of this particular hike?
Everything is what I'm looking forward to. I don't want to miss a moment of it, and I want to hike every footstep being very much alive, and I think that's one of the things that you get out of hiking is a feeling of being really alive and in the moment. You're there in nature and you're seeing all of it, and you're seeing it at walking speed, so you've got plenty of time to observe and absorb and reflect on the things that you're seeing and understand things in a way that you don't normally get a chance to do because you're just sort of caught up in the flurry of living,
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm looking forward to finishing the hike as well because it'll be my first successful through hike. But in another way, I'm not looking forward to that because that'll mean it's over, and that will be a hard moment.
So we are at our destination on day 7 of Walk the Yorke. We are at Wattle Point Shelter, which is just off Yorke Beach. It's really quite lovely here. It's a big sort of bush campsite area, quite soft sand for most of it, but we managed to find a place right next to the actual shelter where there's a reasonable pitch for a hiking tent with fairly lightweight pegs, and we are in the shadow of some extraordinary wind turbines which do make sound, they do generate sound, but there's nothing kind of invasive or unpleasant about it at all. It's almost like a sort of a dull oceanic sound in the background. It's actually quite pleasant. It is freezing cold here, given that we are in the middle of summer, and absolutely blowing a gale, which I've discovered is pretty much the norm for the Yorke Peninsula. So we've actually rugged up. So I'm sitting here in all of my warm weather gear, so thermal leggings and my fleece and my rain jacket as a bit of wind protection, warm socks and my trail runners, whereas I would normally be sitting here in thongs and a tank top and shorts, but not this evening. It's really quite cold. There is absolutely no internet connectivity here at Wattle Point, not for me and not for Mark, who's with Telstra, so we're having a bit of a low-tech evening. We arrived at this shelter sort of late-ish in the afternoon. It was not so much difficult to find as in it's not exactly where Guthooks says it is, which is neither here nor there. It wasn't difficult to find. I don't think you could miss it. It's quite a big shelter and bush campsite. We were relying on the fact that there would be water here when we got here, and there was no water in the tank, and the tap for the tank was broken. Now that could have been a huge bummer for us, in that at the very least we would have had to walk late in the day about another 7.6 kilometres to the next water source, and potentially even longer. If we needed to walk to the next shelter, that would have been another 14.5 kilometres. Fortunately for us, when we arrived at the shelter, there was a young family here with their very well kitted out Land Rover, and when we discovered that there was no water in the tank, they filled up our water bottles and my knock Vecto for us, which was absolutely fantastic. We really would have been, not in a dire emergency situation, but in a bit of an unpleasant situation if they hadn't been here. And they also had the most beautiful Newfoundland with them called Mouse, who we got to cuddle, so that was very nice as well. So we are settling in for the night. I think we're going to cook up a storm of 2-minute noodles shortly and have a fairly early night, because it's cold and windy. It's not really the most pleasant night for sitting out and having a yarn in our very low-tech situation at the moment. And then tomorrow we are walking on to Kemp Bay Shelter, so another short day for us, about a 14.5 kilometre walk. And hopefully, if the weather brightens up, a bit of a swim tomorrow morning on Yorke Beach before we head out.